Transmission received. O5 Council ID detected. Playing log now.
Item number 5516. Colloquially named 101 Lobster Friends. Ethics Committee Notice. This article is under review and may not reflect accurate information concerning SCP-5516. Amendments are pending the resolution of Ethics Committee Investigation Case Number 11A82N. Object Class: Safe. Disruption Class: Dark. Risk Class: Notice. Special Containment Procedures. All 101 entities composing SCP-5516 are to be contained within Aquatic Enclosure L-23 at Site-184's Aquatic Anomalies Wing. Aquatic Enclosure L-23 constitutes one 10 by 10 by 1 meter aquarium holding around 90,000 liters of seawater. SCP-5516 poses a Null 1 containment risk. As such, the use of localized seawater for the containment habitat, provided Site-184 seawater decontamination facilities continue to pass by monthly inspections, and aquatic enclosure automated cleaning practices are approved. SCP-5516 entities are fed via automated food dispersal at 800 and 1900 hours. All SCP-5516 entities are assigned designation numbers. SCP-5516-1 to SCP-5516-101. Designation numbers are to be marked on the carapace of SCP-5516 entities using Flan aquatic paints. Emergent SCP-5516 entities are assigned the designation number of the recently deceased SCP-5516 entity. Deceased SCP-5516 entities possess no anomalous threat and are approved for incineration alongside Site-184's non-anomalous biological waste. Description: SCP-5516 is the collective designation for 101 SCP-5516 entities. SCP-5516 entities are visually identical to non-anomalous Homarus americanus, but demonstrate a variety of anomalous behaviors. These include significantly higher cognitive aptitude and puzzle-solving ability compared to non-anomalous Homarus americanus, communal hunting and food rationing and distribution practices, simultaneous idle states when not hunting or feeding. SCP-5516 entities distribute themselves evenly across their enclosure and demonstrate simultaneous self-grooming behavior. Ability to navigate to other SCP-5516 entities. When removed from their enclosure, SCP-5516 entities will return to other 5516 groupings, displaying a 95% success rate while unobstructed. Collective non-entity dependent problem solving. Individual SCP-5516 entities are capable of solving memory puzzles presented to other SCP-5516 entities. SCP-5516 entities have utilized this ability to bypass simplified rotary numeric locks and meet kinetic-based food distribution systems in testing environments. Limited self-proliferation. Following the death of an individual SCP-5516 entities, 6 to 18 hours later, a separate SCP-5516 entity undergoes a molting process that produces two distinct SCP-5516 entities of roughly equal size. Due to the aforementioned behavior, it is theorized that individual SCP-5516 entities are controlled by a singular group consciousness. Recovery. On April 21, 1987, all SCP-5516 entities were recovered by Mobile Task Force Lambda-14 one-star reviewers while conducting a raid of Allen Seafood, formerly located in Liscombe, Nova Scotia due to a suspected affiliation with GOI 116, Ambrose Restaurants. Addendum: Experiment SETA-88C. On May 11, 1996, Dr. oversaw the testing of Oros-class amnestic on SCP-5516-17 under R&D initiative waning moon-zeta. At the time of testing, the development of Oros class amnestic was ongoing. The Ethics Committee issued approval for testing on invertebrates. Following the events of May 8, 1996, Dr. Oswald Grisdale, alongside Dr. Sylvia Morrison and Dr. administered Oros class amnestic to SCP-5516-17. Following testing, SCP-5516-17 entered a catatonic state for 2 hours before resuming typical behavior. 10 hours after testing, SCP-5516-82 molted, producing 2 SCP-5516 entities, SCP-5516-82 and SCP-5516-101. The following documents have been attached to SCP-5516's file as part of ongoing Ethics Committee investigation. Case number 11A82N. ECI-11A82N. Evidence. Audio transcription. Date: 14th of August, 2020. Note: the following is transcribed from an audio recording uncovered during ECI-11A82N. Speakers are Dr. Gregory Werner, Head Researcher for Site-184's Aquatic Anomalies Wing, and Dr. Sarah Collard, Junior Researcher assigned to SCP-5516. Extraneous audio removed. Dr. Collard: Hello, Dr. Werner. I heard you wanted to speak to me. Dr. Werner:
Yes, please, have a seat. This is about your work with SCP-5516.
And the request for access to a higher clearance? Thank you, sir. I'm trying to revise the entry, but without knowing what happened.
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
I know I don't have the official clearance, but in the 40 years you've had them in custody, the tests from 96 were the only—
Dr. Collard, your work on SCP-5516 has been suspended. You're being transferred. You should receive the details of your new assignment shortly.
Sir, I don't understand. I was brought on specifically for my background in—
You're new here, Dr. Collard. These sorts of rearrangements are not uncommon. Things come up, and personnel need to be reassigned as necessary. SCP-5516 isn't going anywhere, and when you're back, we can see about having you reinstated to your old position.
When I'll be back? What do you mean
That will be all. Thank you. Please see yourself out.
ECI-11A82N. Evidence. Email log. The following emails were sent on the 14th of August, 2020. To jennifer.adamore@scp184.iu. From sarok.collard@scp184.iu. Subject: transferred? ? Jenny, they just took me off SCP-5516. I'm a little shocked. I got a folder with a new assignment. Something to do with anomalous plankton blooms off the coast of Newfoundland. It's a 6-month placement, like on a boat. Subject: transferred. What the fuck? That makes no sense, Sarah. You spent 4 years with your face pressed against the glass of various lobster tanks for that degree, and they're sending you to look at plankton? Christ, I know it's the Foundation, but I'm pretty sure you've introduced me to everyone in the lobster behavior analysis scene in this hemisphere, and I don't exactly think any of them will be taking on this job. Plus, they've got nothing on you anyway. I've got to run, but we'll chat about this later, okay? Maybe it's a mix-up. I'll do dinner, and don't worry, no shellfish. It's gonna be okay. Love you, Jay. ECI-11A82N. Evidence. Journal entries. The following is a digitization of Dr. Collart's journal entry dated 25th of August 2020. Dr. Collart willingly surrendered these documents during ECI-11A82N. August 15th. I walked down to the beach tonight. I'm not sure why. I suppose I don't need to say goodbye yet. Certainly not to the ocean. I didn't notice at the time, but something weird has been happening the last few months. It's the lobsters. I'm not sure how to explain it. I suppose I told myself I was just in touch with them. I was spending so much time staring into that tank. Why would I question if I knew when a particular lobster was hungry? Sure, I couldn't wait to get back to work, to them, but why wouldn't I? I was doing important work, breaking ground in my field. Even if no one outside the Foundation would ever read what I was writing, I was doing it for myself, after all. Now, I'm not so sure. I stood in the water, took my shoes off and everything, and I swear I could feel the water around me, all of me, like a pressure. I don't remember undressing, but the next thing I knew, I was laying in the water, resting my head where the sand ended. I closed my eyes, and a wave covered me. I let my mouth open and I drank it in. I don't really know what happened next. The memories, they don't feel like mine. They don't fit. I was trapped, surrounded by glass and acrylic, or wood and rope, or both. I don't know if my brain couldn't handle it, or if I was drowning, but I was yanked back to myself. I pushed myself up out of the water, coughing the seawater up. Jenny was worried when I came back. She said I had been gone for a while, longer than I thought. I told her it was because I'd be leaving soon. I hate myself for lying to her. August 22nd. God, I hate packing. Somehow, it always takes longer than it should. As long as you have, it seems. I don't want to go tomorrow. Jenny's getting the last few things together. I know she doesn't want me to go either, but she was putting on a brave face. It's only 6 months. You'll come back with some sailor tattoos and a pet puffin, and we'll take a drive down to Lunenburg. Get your land legs back. I don't deserve her. I signed up for the Foundation. We both did, because it was a chance for us to see more, to know more. I suppose it's fitting that the first question I asked was the wrong one. I suppose we'll both be looking at the same moon and the same ocean. Her here on the porch, me puking over a railing. There's something shining. Dr. Collard's journal continues on the next page. The writing appears to be scribbled hastily. What just happened? Okay, calm down. They covered this stuff in orientation, right? Write it down. Yeah. Wait. What if it's mimetic? Shit, okay. I'm gonna write it down. I feel like I'm already losing it, like it's slipping past me. There was a shine from the moon, or the reflection of the moon on the water, like moonlight on water. Something ivory, moving, but not there, flickering. I remember walking to it, or into it. It was cold, and I could feel them moving. As the water passed my eyes, I opened them, but they weren't my eyes anymore. I wouldn't be able to see like that. My head hurts trying to think about it. I was alone this time. I remember being alone. I couldn't move. I felt the needle slide in, and I saw them. Dr. Werner and 2 others. Then I was undone. I came apart. I couldn't think anymore. They had taken that from me, or killed it. They had killed me, but I wasn't dead. The blood was still pumping. I was still moving, yet I was annihilated. August 23rd. If it wasn't for what I wrote, I never would have known it happened. I've already forgotten. The weird part is, I don't even feel like I forgot. Nothing seems missing. What else am I missing? I know things without knowing why I know them. I don't remember what happened, but I know that the Oros class amnestic kills the consciousness. I know they were panicked as they did it, but not because of the tests. I know they tested it on SCP-5516 when they weren't supposed to. I know that it made SCP-5516-101. They made SCP-5516-101. There were only 100 to start. They thought they all shared a single mind, one that existed independent of the body. But that must not have been quite right. They weren't paying attention. I can't say I'd blame them. I don't know why they would have looked so close. The test worked, but not in the way they hoped. Whatever Oros class is, it didn't affect the hive mind, but it did affect the lobster, made it forget itself. Then the hive mind registered one lobster down and popped out another, back to 100. But the body was still around, so when that died, it popped out another. It found a new normal, but it's kept that going all these years. We thought it was capped at 100 or 101, but why did we think that? Because they are nice, sensible numbers and we like that? I know there are many more SCP-5516 entities out there, shifting in an inky blackness. But how many? And I still don't know why they took the risk. What were they scared of? The Ethics Committee issued approval for testing on invertebrates. Non-anomalous, it must be. They must have thought no one would remember, but something did. ECI-11A82N Initial Internal Report Form. Complaint leveled against Dr. Gregory Werner, Head Researcher for Site-184's Aquatic Anomalies Wing. Reportee Dr. Sarah Collard, Junior Researcher. Date 23rd of August 2020. Site, if applicable, 184. Nature of complaint. Dr. Collard alleges that during the development of Oros class amnestic, conducted as part of the Foundation's Research and Development Initiative, Waning Moon-Zeta, Dr. Gregory Werner, along with 2 accomplices, conducted experimentations on live anomalous SCP-5516 entities. Additionally, Collard alleges that Dr. Gregory Werner has been instrumental in the obfuscation of this breach of protocol. In doing so, Dr. Gregory Werner is further accused of misallocating Foundation resources and personnel, falsifying Foundation records, and intentionally disrupting the Foundation's mandate by preventing accurate record-keeping. Validity of complaint. An initial review board, after listening to the testimony of Dr. Sarah Collard, has found the allegations leveled against Dr. Gregory Werner credible and opened an official investigation EIC-11A28N. Ethics Committee response. Following the opening of ECI-11A28N, Dr. Gregory Werner has been relieved of duty and placed under house arrest. Ethics Committee Investigation Task Force, ECITF-DOMUM-3, Human Resources, is responsible for the gathering of evidence related to ECI-11A28N and has received authority to detain and interrogate the associates of Dr. Gregory Werner, Dr. Oswald Grisdale, and Dr. Sylvia Morrison. Following the submission of evidence by ECITF-DOMUM-3 to the Ethics Committee, Dr. Gregory Werner shall be tried by an adjudicative board as per Bylaw EC-10.7.12. Doctor's note. Oh, that's what happened to Dr. Werner. They always said that he just quit. Nobody said that he was, obviously nobody's gonna fess up to the fact that he's under investigation, but usually that type of gossip gets around. I actually thought this guy managed to retire after all these years. Sucks to suck, you shouldn't get caught. You shouldn't be doing things you're not supposed to.